There is no such thing as coincidence. If you are watching this video, it is because there is a message for you in it, a practical one, and it is about what action you need to take, what's standing in your way, or what message you need right now. And for this pick a card, I will be using only the court cards. That's it. And if you want to learn how to read court cards more deeply or more fluently, I'm going to put a little link in the thing below. I have a mini course that I've just created on how to use the court cards to read like a boss. But right now, let's get to the pick a card. Okay, so it is the beginning of spring here in Northern Hemisphere, and I'm going to do a little pick a card for you guys. It is going to be a very challenging year. The Metal Ox has not really gotten started yet. It is going to be a very, very challenging year. So I'm going to give you guys some advice here. What I'm going to do 5 piles here. You pick a pile. What action should you take, or what's standing in your way? Or let's see if something else comes out per pile. Okay, so I'm going to address each pile more clearly, whether it's, what action should you take, or what do you need to do, or what message, or what's standing in your way. When I really originally did this, it's what's standing in your way was my intention. I'm using only the court cards, and I will have 5 piles. And I will have 3 in each pile. And there will be a general message with what's left over for everyone. So let me start here with you guys. Pick a pile, take a moment, take a breath. Remember, if it doesn't make sense now, it will by the end of the year. There's a reason that you found this. So that's pile 1. 1, 2, and 3. Let's put that there like that. I hope you guys can see it. Pile 2. 1, 2, 3. Pile 3, 1, 2, 3. Pile 4, 1, 2, 3. And pile 5, 1, 2, 3. The message for everyone is be very careful about being suspicious of those around you who can really help you. The general message for everyone who is seeing this right now is, are you putting your faith in the right place and in the right people? Are you trusting the people who really have your best interests at heart? Or are you putting your faith in people who are taking advantage of you? Also, here's another message. How can you sharpen your mind with what's coming this year, and how can you use what's happening now to make your mind sharper, more adaptable? And here's the really positive one. How can you take this current time that we are in human history and use it to open yourself up to possibilities that you never knew were possible? To things that you never knew were possible. And here's the final message I'm going to give. What did you think was impossible that you are starting to find out really is possible? And what have you dismissed that you thought was only fantasy that really is a possibility? That's the general message for everyone. We got pile 1 here, pile 2 here, pile 3 here, pile 4 here, and pile 5 here. For those of you who picked pile 1, let's start. I've got the, okay, so here we go here. Struggles in taking care of a child or children are testing your emotional place and your ability to come from a more balanced emotional place that expresses itself through your values. Let's put it that way. So can you balance your emotions with your values and become, more stable in them? So challenges. So that's one message here. Challenges in taking care of children right now, or raising children right now, or working with children, is testing and really testing your value system, and is asking you, are you really coming from your values? There's another thing too here. Is the example that you are leading with one that you would like the next generation to follow? And are you really embodying those things that you think are really truly valuable and really truly important? There's another message here for another group of people. This is about truthfulness and honesty. Forcing things because into place, or taking advantage of a situation because you think no one's looking, or no one's watching, or no one will find out, is an expression of who you really are and who your values are. So if you're taking advantage of a situation, or you're being unscrupulous, it means that that's something that's coming from within you. It's an embodiment of what you value. And if you call yourself a good person, but you're coming from this place of where you're being unscrupulous, or taking advantage of a situation, or lying in a situation because you think no one's going to find out, ask yourself, what do you really stand for? And that bridges me into another message for folks here. What do you choose to stand for at this time? What belief system, what values do you choose to defend? And are you really living by that? Or are you just letting them go because it's convenient, or it's too hard to stand up for them? And then I have a final message, and maybe all of these work for you if you pick this group, or maybe one of these messages work for you. But here's another one here. This one is about really understanding all of the things that you have at your disposal that are valuable, that you might use right now and take action to present yourself in a whole new way, to either make a living or give you extra income, or whatever it is that you want to do with that. People get so hung up on money, but the bottom line is that you're not taking advantage of everything that you have that's actually valuable and using it to your advantage. Now, a lot of people will say that it has to do with money, but it doesn't. Maybe it has in your relationships. Maybe your relationships are flat because you're not coming from all of the gifts that you have. Maybe you have more compassion and caring inside of you than you're using. Maybe you're really good at caring for people, but you've just been grumpy and barking at people lately. Maybe you feel that you're tired and you don't have the energy that you need, but you have the discipline inside of you to change that and to become more healthy in your body. What resources do you have at your disposal that you're not using? There's a cliche here that I want to throw in here, and I think this is going to become very valuable as people move forward here. Waste not, want not. What do you have that's of value that you're wasting? And how can you use it so that you don't end up later wanting and going, oh my God, I had that at my disposal and I should have used it. I didn't really appreciate it for what it was. Okay? Let me take a final second here and see if there's anything else. Information or a situation or a relationship that you thought was lost is not. It is only temporarily on hold. That's another message. And I got another one here. Be careful about putting yourself on a pedestal at the expense of someone else and their need to shine as well. Remember, as we move forward here, there is enough possibility for success in everyone. We live in a place that is full of wealth and abundance. We need only be able to see it and take advantage of it. I got a message here from the night. Give me just a second to see what this is. A child born from a passionate romantic interlude is still very valuable and that life is very precious. That's the message. So one of the ways to look at it is, just because things may not have worked out with that person, the new being, the new life that came into being is still very valuable and very precious. That's pile number one. Those are the messages I've got for you guys at pile number one. We're going to move on now to pile number two. Again, I'm not blowing smoke for people. I'm going to give whatever practical messages come out with the cards. We've got the page. Okay, we got the Page of Swords, Queen of Pumpkins, or she's and we got the Knight of Ghosts. Okay, for this one, you've been going around and around and around in circles about something that you're worried about. You've been worried about, and you've been going over it again and again and again. And it's throwing things off for you. It's putting your emotions out of balance, and it's making things very difficult. It may be financial situations, bill situations, anxiety, health concerns, health worries. The more that you worry, the more that you go over things again and again and again, the more it puts you in a position where you're not really very very skillful in your actions or how you go about things. So it's lowering your game. Okay, so it's making you not as sharp as you would otherwise be. I got another one here too. Someone who looks like Prince Charming or Princess Charming may not be all that they're cracked up to be right now. I would take some time here to get to know the person better. This is not what it seems, and I would take some time and get to know the person and start by becoming friends and see what develops from there before you throw everything into this and risk a huge amount on it. There's another one here for people who there's another message here for people who picked this. Ask yourself how standing up to authority or not standing up to authority has worked for you in your life and what you have had to learn from it. Are you hesitating to do what's right or what's really appropriate in a situation simply because you don't want to take the risk and stand up for something? I think it's really important that you examine this very closely and ask yourself, what does caving into authority when it's necessary to stand up really do? And is it time for you to learn a lesson of really how to stand up for yourself and defend yourself? I think that's very important here as a lesson for these people who've picked the number 2. And then I got another one here, just going over here. How can you turn things upside down and look at them from a different perspective? You've been dealing with a situation here where it's come around again, and you're taking a stab at it again, and you're trying to do this again, and you've done it before, and you find yourself keep saying, well, every time I do this, I end up in the same place or the same thing happens. How can you take another viewpoint where you flip it and you look at it from a completely different point of view? So maybe you look at it from the point of view of someone who succeeded in this. Maybe you look at it from how someone you admire would look at it, or maybe you look at it from how an enemy would look at it and see what you get, or maybe you make up someone famous in history and look at it from their point of view. What does looking at this situation from another perspective do? What is flipping it on its head do for you and give you? And what new insights do you have about the situation when you do that? There's an offer that is made to you, something is given to you, and it seems like it's good fortune. It is going to be taken back. My advice in that situation is just let it go when it goes. It came and went for a reason. Just let it go. If you cling to it, it'll cause a lot of problems, and it will create a greater problem in the future. And then I've got one more here. What is this one? So that's coming soon. So it's something that's given is going to be taken back, and then you're going to go, wait, what happened? So it comes into your life. It looks like a stroke of good fortune, and then just realize it's balancing out, and it's just let it go. Okay. So that's coming in the future here. And then one more I got here. Okay, so maybe it's time to change up the scenery in the situation because you're feeling like you're stuck and you're going through things the same again and again and again, and it feels like it's all routine. It's time to shake up. It's time to shake things up. Get out, get around, change your scenery, change your routine, get out of that routine, change things up, and see how it affects things. Also, there's a feeling here too that maybe it's time to change how you've been approaching your body. And it's not necessarily that there's something wrong. You may feel like you've plateaued. Sometimes when you change the approach, you can push past the plateau. So maybe you've been doing a new fitness routine and you've hit a plateau. Well, if you change things up and you shake things up, you might push right past that plateau. Or you might find yourself in a place where you either need to take a break from a little while because maybe you've been pushing too far, or maybe in some cases you haven't been as disciplined with it as you wanted, and you need a little more application of discipline in order to push through that plateau. That was number 2. Let's go on to number 3 now. Who we got here? We've got King. So that he'll be the King of Coins or the King of Pumpkins, King of Coins, and then we got here the Knight. Okay, that feels like it's locked down. All right, so this one is about an individual who's been very possessive, and their possessive nature has been interfering with your ability to move freely, express yourself, and get what you need to get, or get your needs met, okay? So it's time to ask yourself, do you want this controlling individual to continue to determine what needs, or organization, it could be too, to determine whether or not your needs get met? It may be time to move on, okay? And align yourself with something or someone who's more in line with your values and more supportive. There's another situation here for others that I think, generally speaking, it's time to look at those people who are your support network in your life. Are they really giving you what you need? And is it okay for you to express your values openly, or are they trying to silence those? And if so, is this the kind of support network that will be most conducive for your growth, your health, and your happiness? There's another thing here relating to health, and for a lot of people don't realize how important it is to balance their emotional nature and how that's affecting their health. There's 2 messages here. In one case, there's drinking and or drug use that is actually deeply affecting the health of the individual. It's affecting their mood, it's affecting their body. I don't think that they're noticing it. And it may be you, or it may be someone in your life, because this is a general thing, so it's going to hit a lot of people in a lot of different ways. For some of you, it may be someone in your life. For some of you, it may be you. It may not be showing itself yet, but if you notice the mood changes and other health changes, it's affecting it deeply, and it's time to really consider whether or not the drug or the drink is worth it. And that includes prescription drugs in some cases as well. Also look at the diet. Is the diet affecting the mood? And then we got another one here. There is a business breakthrough that you make during this time where you decide that you're going to stop, I guess, worrying about other people's feelings in this situation and how their feelings are affecting everything. And you're saying, look, I can't focus on this anymore. Everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone's got a different opinion. I need to trust my sense of these things. I need to move forward and take the actions that I need to take. And when you do that, there is a good breakthrough in your business and in your wealth, your business, stuff like that. And that will put you more in a position of being in control of the situation. And what does that teach you about yourself, your choices, and being in control of your destiny? Because if you're trying to please everyone and you're pleasing no one, what really needs to be done for the health of the business or the situation or the project or whatever it is And if you take the reins yourself and move forward with it, it's likely to give you, you'll make a breakthrough, and you're going to learn a lot from this as well. And I got one more message in here. This is a time where you've been feeling that something that you gave up on a long time ago, when you were, I don't know if it was much younger, because some of you who are watching this will be young, and it will not be that long ago. Some of you a little older. Something you gave up on that you thought had no potential resurfaces, and this is a good time to sort of address it. It's not that it will go huge. It's that you have to, if you start to set the foundation for this and start to work through the practical groundwork, it will make situations better in the future for you in a lot of ways. So something you're revisiting, something that you thought wouldn't work, that you gave up on, it's come back around. It actually excites you now. It may not be that this flows through super fast, but if you pursue it and lay the groundwork, you're going to see some success, if not just here, in other areas of your life, because this is something that you need to express. And when we give up on our dreams, it stifles energy inside of us. It locks it up inside of us, and it creates blockages. So if nothing else, this will be opening up blockages that you've locked down. I think that's it. Another one, back pain coming from shoes. Okay, back pain coming from shoes. Check your shoes and how you're walking and how you're holding yourself when you walk. It's creating back pain. Okay. One more. So this would be 4, right? So we got 4, and we got the Page of Cups. We got the, okay. All right, this is bad. This feels like a bad one. Okay, so this is a situation where either you did or you just did. You feel like you made an offering. You feel like you offered something that was really important, really valuable, really good. You feel like you made a gesture. How's that? A positive gesture, and you got hit, and someone was really cruel about it. You can go and you can eat yourself up about this, and it's going to hurt you in the heart. It's going to create lots of problems in your heart. Let it go. You have to let this one go. So if you're worried about your pride, if you're feeling that you were wronged, if you were feeling that it's like, look, I reached out in good faith, I did so, and then boom, I was attacked. You have to let this go. I would say in a lot of situations, it's important to stand up for yourself when but in this particular case, it feels like, be careful that you don't play the martyr, and be careful that you don't get hung up on the, oh my God, poor me, I did this, and don't do that. Let this one go, because it's just going to affect your heart. There is a situation here for other people, there is a situation with a pet who is ill. The pet will get better. Be patient, be careful, and realize that pets feel the worry. So do your best to make them feel comfortable, make them feel, do what's necessary to heal them, whatever to make them comfortable, but be sure that you watch your worry, because that's really important. And also those pets who transition, who move on, I don't know if this helps, but in the Tibetan bond, we realize that when a pet or a beloved friend moves on, it is often because they are no longer, they could end up another animal again. Or it could be that their time as an animal, they learned what they needed to learn as an animal. It served its purpose, and now they're going to reincarnate as a human being. And that is a joyous thing, or another kind of being. So it could very much be that it is just this being's time to move on, and allow them to do so graciously. And there are things that can be done to help beings transition into a better rebirth when a being moves on. If you need a service like that, I can provide that from Tibetan Bond. We do that for our clients, but it seems like an important message that for those who have a beloved friend who moves on, that there is something else that they move to, and they may be ready to not be an animal and to maybe become a human next time, or another kind of being. So that is one of the messages. And then I've got something else here. A child. This is about child. The first one had something about children in here, but this one's about in the first pile, I had something about setting an example for a child, and this is similar, only in this one it's about apprenticing a child. So taking a young, eager, curious child and allowing them to do what it is they want to do and showing them how to do it and allowing them to apprentice. And if you can't do it, putting them in a situation where they can do it. So if the child wants to learn a certain craft, a certain art, a martial art, something, a sport or something, putting them in the position where they can model someone and they can apprentice with someone so they can learn those skills is very important, will be very beneficial for them. And then this one has to do with, okay, so there's a fear of moving forward that's causing body pain. This is something that might need a bigger consultation. I sometimes these things just come out. I don't mean to say, hey, you gotta, but there is something to do with body pain and fearing moving forward. And if that's the case, it has to be looked at much deeper. What exactly is the core of it? And then, and then I got one more message here. This is very important during this time for you to appreciate what you do have, and allow appreciation to make space for more of something good. So, and that means in yourself. If you're not appreciating what you've got yourself, your own wonderful qualities, you won't be able to appreciate anyone else. There is a lot of talk about appreciation right now, and people running around going, it's important to appreciate, it's important to appreciate. There's such a thing as empty appreciation, which doesn't really do any of us any good. It feels empty inside. I'm talking about genuine appreciation, genuinely appreciating what you've got inside, genuinely appreciating other people, genuinely appreciating your resources. I think people are going to realize how much they did have or do have as this year continues, and it's time to start taking advantage of all we have and stop dismissing it. There are certain things that are being held up as this is valuable, this is that valuable, this is valuable, at the detriment of other things, or at the death of other things, and that creates blockages inside of us as well. If we dismiss what truly is valuable and follow something that's really shallow and superficial, it creates a block inside of us, or worse, it creates sickness, it creates holes inside of us, it creates emptiness. And I think there's one more here. It's okay to look back and appreciate what you've learned. Take that and move forward with it, without getting in a position where you're constantly looking back and saying, well, it was better back then, or I wish back then. Either the present is now, the future is ahead of you. Take what you've learned and apply it, and don't be silly and drop what lessons you've learned and forget it and make the same mistakes again. So use what you've learned to move forward and to get stronger. And that is a better use of your experience than saying, oh, I had it so bad, or it was awful, or it was better back then. Take what you've learned and move forward with it, and become the stronger person with these new experiences. Okay? You've learned a lot since then. Take advantage of that. Okay? So that's number 4. We got one more. What do we got here? For those of you who picked number 5, there's the King of Wands. Okay. Popularity. Okay, so we got someone creating problems for another person and attacking their reputation, and it's a clumsy attempt. It's not going to be lasting. Do your best to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, but realize that it's not going to take hold and it's not going to last. That's the first message for people. The second message is be careful of people who don't have the authority that they claim to have, taking clumsy and inept advantage of a situation and bullying their way through something rather than really accomplishing what they say they can accomplish. So hold them. Are they authority because they've earned the authority, or are they authority because they grabbed it? You know, there's a lot of people right now who set themselves up as authorities who can't do something. Can the person do what they say they can do and what they're representing themselves as authority? And if this is a message for you, then it's like, ask yourself, do you want to really be the authority that you claim to be and actually earn the abilities and have the abilities to be who you want to be? Or are you just trying to get people to see you as that? So if you're finding an obstacle here, and if you're finding things being what may be standing in your way, is that you need to have more of the experience to back up who you're claiming to be. Okay. For others, there's another message. This is a time of transformation, change. There's going to be a little delay here, at least of several weeks, where you're going through a change. Allow things to change and see what you notice. Don't try to force things. Don't try to rush things. Pay attention to what you've noticed. A trip is canceled, and it is not certain when it will be rescheduled. I guess that's the message. There's nothing else. There's nothing else with it. A trip is canceled, and it's not clear when it will be rescheduled. I guess that's it. I don't have another. Someone that you really believed in starts to show another side of them that makes you wonder if they had, if they were everything you thought they were. Recognize that people are just people. Human beings are just human beings. Not everyone has everything figured out, and people do make mistakes. But on the other side of it, allow yourself to allow your own authority, your own abilities, and your own whatever it is to emerge. I mean, were you holding them too high on a pedestal so that you didn't have to evolve yourself? So are you holding people up as excellent and then holding yourself down? That's not humility. Humility is when we realize we're not better or worse than anyone else. So what may be holding you back is you're not truly showing humility and recognizing that you have the ability to become this kind of individual as well, and you don't have to hold them up on a pedestal. And then I got one more here. There is someone in your life. It feels like it's either a coworker, a boss, something like that, who is just making busy work because they're playing with people, and it's almost sadistic, and it's not. There's nothing of value. You're not crazy. There's a sadistic thing going on here. They're not really qualified to be doing what they're doing, and they don't really know what they're doing, or they're just bored, or they're just trying to make problems. And I guess the advice would be, that's really what's going on. So you don't have to feel crazy, and you don't have to, down yourself. Then there's another one here too for someone who does own their own business. Putting new processes in place that help you to grow the business is really advised at this time. And because if you there was another pile that had something similar. This is also about setting the groundwork for new processes to expand your business. Might be smart at this time. And one more for people who've invested. An investment stalls out, goes down, and then after a delay will start to go back up again. That's it. As people outside my home scream, I don't know if it showed up on camera or not, or heard, but that's it. That is the pick a card for this time, using only court cards. Like I said, if you would like to learn how to read the court cards in a whole new way, I've got a mini class on how to read the court cards, Court Card Madness. I'll put the link in my below this video. If you like this video, if you got a good message, share it everywhere, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos are available. I'm Lucky Links, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do.